Hello, friends. Sometimes a split second is all it takes to make the right decision. If you take too much time to reason, think about danger in a critical situation, then it will most likely end badly. Especially when it comes to saving someone's life. You have to make a quick choice, either to help someone in trouble or to ensure your own safety. The heroine of this story chose the first option. One man dreamed of living in nature all his life. He was born in a village located in the dense taiga forests. But he had to move to the city as a teenager because his parents were offered a good job there. When he grew up, he got a job with his father, but he didn't give up his hopes of moving back out of town. As time went on, the young man got married and had a daughter. The man was sure tired of living in the city, but he understood all too well that his daughter wouldn't have the same opportunities living in the village as she did living in the city. Therefore, the man kept enduring the city life and the unsociable neighbors. It was only when his daughter was 20 years old and got married that the man remembered his dream. He persuaded his wife, and they moved to a small house on a riverbank, surrounded by taiga forests. And thus began their new life. In a couple of years, they started their own farm and only went into the city to sell their products at the market. On weekends, the man happily would go fishing or would spend his time wandering around the local forests, gathering mushrooms and berries. It was during one of these walks that he saw something moving in the bushes, someone small and fluffy. The man thought it was a cat, but looking closer, he realized that it was a lynx kitten. It seemed that the kitten must have lost her mother and was wandering through the forest for several days in search of food. The animal was very thin and could barely stand on her own paws. The man immediately realized that the kitten couldn't survive without his help. Wasting no time, he took the little thing back to his farm and prepared a special formula to feed the little lynx. Soon, the animal got stronger and was already running around the yard with might and main, playing with the man's granddaughter, who came by with her parents almost every weekend. A whole year went by like this. The lynx behaved like an ordinary domestic cat, only throwing occasional glances in the direction of the chicken coop. One weekend, the man took his family on a picnic in the woods. They took their lynx with them. While they were making the kebabs, the granddaughter was playing with her pet, as she usually did. Suddenly, the child began to cry, so the adults turned around and saw a terrible picture. The girl was lying on the grass, and about a meter away from her lay a black snake that looked a lot like a viper. It was curled up in a ring and ready to attack. The parents immediately ran to try and save the child, but the snake had already rushed towards their daughter. Fortunately, the lynx stopped it at the last moment. She jumped and prevented the viper's attack with her paw. However, she only managed to throw the snake aside, and it was already rushing at the lynx. Despite receiving several bites, the lynx continued to fight. In just a few seconds, she tore the snake apart and then lay down on the grass, licking her wounds. Then suddenly, she jumped up and ran towards the forest. The girl began to cry, fearing that her pet could be dying. The wounded animal disappeared into the forest quickly. Everyone was scared and couldn't come to their senses for a long time, and the girl looked towards the forest in tears and called for her savior to come back. The picnic was obviously ruined, so everyone just went home. The animal clearly suffered greatly from the snake bites and fled into the forest to die. Imagine the man's surprise when 2 days later he found the lynx in his own shed. It was still a little lethargic, but it was clear from her demeanor that she would be all right. Seeing that her little friend was in danger, the lynx didn't waste time thinking. She immediately rushed to help. It's remarkable that the animal didn't even think about her own safety at the time. Even though the snake bit her repeatedly, the predator kept fighting until she was sure that the child was no longer in danger. If the lynx had stopped and ran away, the viper would have most likely turned to the child, and then this story would have a very different ending. Friends, that's all for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.